Hello and welcome to the Content Polymath channel. Sorry about the voice, I don't know if it's loud or not, but this microphone's been kind of iffy lately. I wanted to make a quick video, nothing too in-depth, but I found a whole bunch of AI technology, like actual local hardware, and this is something that I've been going down a rabbit hole myself, and I figured, why don't I make a video about it so that way you guys can all benefit from it as well. I have been obsessed with this idea of having a local LLM on my computer, using that for working with my Obsidian vaults. On my PolyInnovator channel, I talk about knowledge management, but I figured as a content creator, there's a lot of benefits to having local AI. Now, you can leave your opinions about what you feel about AI in the comments if you feel like it, but the idea of having AI in your life as a content creator is helpful. Now, disregarding the whole topic between like artists versus AI, I get that's a touchy subject for some people. If you're a person who likes AI, keep watching. If you don't like AI, go ahead and move on. It's okay. But this is an interesting time where there's a lot of unique products on the market that I don't think most of you know about. And so I figured I'll make a quick little video about it. A lot of computers, I want to start off right off the bat, and one of which I'm going to share today. A lot of computers nowadays actually include an NPU, which is like a neural processing unit, basically an AI chip. Now, technically speaking, you can actually run AI on a CPU, on a GPU, or an NPU. The CPUs are not very optimized, and it's not really what it's meant for, because the way that CPUs are meant to be processed, it's not in parallel as much. And so even if you have multiple cores, they're not necessarily as great with that simultaneously processing for the mathematics behind AI processing. So that's why GPUs are often way more effective at it, because there's multiple cores that are meant for simultaneous processing for video games. And so that's why GPUs are so common for AI processing. And then the neural processing units are even more optimized for it. However, the software isn't quite there yet, I think, for a lot of the normal applications you might think of for having like Olama and stuff like that. You can do it, but I think AMD and NVIDIA need to actually do better on the optimization, from what I'm telling you. This is just me reverberating and echoing, parroting what I've learned. So let me share my screen here. This is the first one that, there we go. This is the first one that had kind of come out, I think, a while back, the Coral. It's a little device you just plug into the USB port of your computer. The problem is there's not that many TOPS, which is like the actual amount of processing, essentially. I think it's only like 2 TOPS or something like close to like 2 to 10, 12 or something like that. There is, I think, another one that's an SSD. Yeah. I mean, there's a few different options. Yeah, there's a few different options here. This is probably the one that you would actually more likely use, and it's $60. So you can actually add basically a very slow, very, very slow LLM to your computer. Let me fix this real quick. Why is this not working? I want to do the shared screen. Okay, cool. I don't know why that happened there. But so theoretically, like, this is not really going to be that great. But if I go to the next one, okay, I think it's skipping some tabs there. This is a new product that's coming out, and I've actually reached out to them a little bit because I would really like to get my hands on this and make a video about it. But this is a little mini, like, you can even say like supercomputer, where it has so many great specs. So tons of TOPS. So 30 TOPS just built into it, but then a dedicated NPU for 160 TOPS. That's the most powerful I've seen on the market. And we'll see another product here in a second that's also really good. And it's only 30 watts, which means it's not that like power hungry, has a terabyte built into it, which is really important, 80 gigs of RAM, which means you can actually run some really big models on it. Because like, yes, the storage is important, but the RAM is actually what's more important for a lot of processing units. And so even if you have a great NPU, if you don't have enough RAM for that NPU, it's not going to work as well. And so we'll get into some other products where we kind of have that issue. And then let's see the next one. This one is actually something I'm very interested in. I've reached out to them on Twitter too. Hopefully, they're actually part of the reason why I was motivated to make this video too. Tiny and this one in particular. And so this is actually kind of what got me down the rabbit hole a little bit here, where essentially it's just a little M.2 slot. So my mini PC has an empty slot for this size. It's the 2242 size. And it's kind of like a half height card, but it has a built-in fan because it's going to build up heat. It has 8 gigs of RAM, which is, enough. It's still going to be kind of small parameter models, but 24 TOPS is actually pretty dang good. It's way better than that Coral one by Google. And so this could actually it's kind of like middle of the range. And $139 for an AI chip is not half bad. It's not great. And it's not going to be great for everybody who just wants to get started on it. And you definitely have to be kind of a tinkerer to do it. But if you know a little bit about technology, this could be a great way for you to get AI and start running it locally for you to start doing like cloud code and stuff like that. Again, with something like this, the speed is going to be about medium. It's going to be a little bit sluggish compared to what you're used to. You got to realize when you're in the cloud, you're using cloud-based servers, and so it's going to be a lot faster. So all these products, besides that tiny one, I'm not done yet. I still have more, so don't leave just yet. But all those products are running it locally. And so depending on how much TOPS power you have and how much RAM you have, and how, if it's sometimes having dedicated RAM versus shared RAM can also make a difference. So this little module that I showed you here, it has dedicated RAM for that little processing unit, which means it's just for that processor. Like, it's only going to be for the AI. And so it doesn't have to share with your main system. So that could be a big difference there. So if you have an extra slot, that might be a great option. And if you don't have an extra slot, you can get that Coral option. Or if you have the money for it, buy that tiny mini PC. So let's share the screen again. I want to get to the next one. Come on. Oh, I'm in the wrong window. There we go. So this is the Raspberry Pi hat. And so this is also going to be one of those more weaker ones, only 13 TOPS. However, again, if you're more of a tinkerer and you have a Raspberry Pi lying around, it's also a great reason to get this. And that's why I'm trying to give you a variety of different products, because you never know what your situation might be. Are you a tinkerer or are you not? Are you someone who has a lot of hardware lying around? I have a mini PC over there that I'm not using. I could probably run a local LLM and just let it be slow and just let it take time to process. Because if I just have it running there, I could just open it up in a new window, forget about it while it's processing. And this is also kind of an interesting dynamic. This is more for like visual models and like cameras, but you could use this for a local LLM. It'd just be pretty slow. Let's see. Next one. So, okay, Miniform, you need to stop doing this crap. That's two different overlays and a bar head and an ad down below. Like, come on, guys, come down. So I've also reached out to Miniform, but, you know, I'm not big enough to really get their attention. But this is the mini PC I was looking at. Ever since I bought my mini PC over a year ago, I actually had to send it back. And ironically, I kind of wish I kept it because this is having some of the same issues. I digress. It was relatively fast, and I bought that particular one because it was cheap. It was actually more expensive than this, which is crazy to me how the prices have been changing, but this is bare bones, so that makes a difference. The thing is here, this is a very fast AI processor, but more importantly, it's actually a fast like CPU, and it has a nice GPU as well. It's actually a better GPU than the computer that I had before, and it has an Nuelink port, so I can connect my external GPU, which could also be used for AI. And then the really cool thing about it, 86 TOPS. Again, it's not as powerful as the tiny one I mentioned earlier, but this is actually pretty darn good for a local AI chip. And what's even more cool about it, guys, is that there is 3 open M.2 slots. I'm trying to find, yeah, here. 3 NVMe slots, one of which you'll use for your storage, obviously, but you could do 4 terabytes each if you wanted to. And there's also the little slot for the the Wi-Fi card, and that's a small SSD slot, or M.2 slot. Theoretically, you'd want to have AI and Bluetooth, but if you don't really care that much, you could replace that M.2 that has the Wi-Fi card. You could always get a USB dongle too, or use Ethernet like I do, and you can replace that little micro M.2 slot for, let's say, a 4G card, or there might even be a Coral or AI Halo chip. I think Halo's the brand that you could put in there too. Theoretically, the read-write speeds probably wouldn't be that great, so you probably want to put it in the regular slot. But theoretically, you could also just use one of those extra NVMe slots for that other device I mentioned earlier, the M5. And so I was just thinking, like, okay, it already has an AI chip built into it. What if you have a second chip? Why not second chip, right? And have 2 neural processing units in your computer. That is crazy to me. I think that's so cool. Let me get rid of the full screen so I can see if I've gotten all the tabs. Yeah, I've gotten all the tabs here. So I'm going to go back to the face cam before I wrap up. This is just me nerding out. And I wasn't planning on making this video. In fact, I have a lot of other content I need to make today. But I've been thinking about these products so much. And what are the reasons why you would do it? Well, I might need to make a new video about that. But if you like AI and you want to have your own AI, these are the technologies you would need to do it. Now, that Miniform is a good example. It's actually probably one of the best options, especially for price right now. And granted, the whole RAM and storage situation might make it even out. But if you have SSDs lying around, if you have, RAM lying around, you can kind of make up for it. So the idea of having your own local AI is what I wanted to implant. Think of this like a preliminary video for a series that I could do on this channel. I want to start talking about more technology. I want to do a review on my Herc Pulsar unit. that I have down here, the mini PC. I might do another video talking about my experience with the Herc Orion Mega PC that I had shipped off, and they actually sent me this one as a review unit, but because I was having issues with that other PC, I couldn't actually make a video about it, ironically. But my point is, I want to make more videos about the technology that I'm using as a content creator. I have a OnePlus pad right here, for example, and it's actually the tablet I use whenever I want to go traveling and writing on the go. So there's a lot of really cool videos I can make on this channel, so let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like and subscribe, of course. Thank you.